where the stories climb high. Dr. Rhonda's in the groove where the pages touch the sky. Sip on inspiration, let the moments unwind. Every voice the horizon, new tales intertwine. From pen to passion where the art feels divine. Authors vibing together, creativity and time. So pull up your chair, let your spirit align. Horizons Author Lounge where words come alive. Welcome to Horizons Author Lounge.
About to meet the third author, and I'm not gonna waste any time because we have three authors you're gonna meet tonight. So right now, I am bringing to the stage Dr. George Walters-Sleyon. Hello, Dr. George. How are you tonight? You are muted. You're still muted.
Okay.
There we are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, hello. I'm pretty good. Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful to be here.
Well, it is wonderful to have you. Thank you for joining me again tonight. You were just on the show a few weeks ago, and you're right back here.
Yeah, it's quite a pleasure to have me on again. And I want to thank you for your interest in my work. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back because your work is really, really interesting. For those who missed it the first time, um, it's called The Rush for Black Diamonds, and you actually have 2 volumes. And so some people may think that when they hear The Rush for Black Diamonds that we're talking about jewels, and we actually are talking about jewels, but we're not talking about the jewels that we wear on our fingers. We're talking about a different type of jewel. So can you explain this?
So, The Rush for Black Diamonds are a 2-volume book, and Black Diamonds is a metaphor. Okay, it's a metaphor for enslaved and chattel Black Africans that were enslaved during the transatlantic slave trade and its mutation to chattel slavery and colonialism and interpenal slavery, which is the modern phase of the continuation of the transatlantic slave trade into the 1970s, post 1970, where we are now.
So, now what exactly is your book about? Because it's not just about slavery, it's really more about the thought process behind slavery, correct?
Exactly, several things. So both books, uh, volume one or volume two, both of them explore how one philosophy becomes the foundation for the development and emergence justification of the transatlantic slave trade. But both books look into how this idea, the conceptualization and justification of the transatlantic slave trade is mutated into chattel slavery as well and into the modern phase. So both books look at the intersections of the transatlantic slave trade into penal slavery into our modern era. And it's important because uh, I just want to put this up there as we're about to celebrate Black History Month. These 2 volumes are very pivotal. If you are really, really interested in understanding the history behind Black history, Black experience, the Black community, Black intellectual capacity, I will encourage you to read these books, okay, and to I'm available to come over to do a speaking engagement and teaching workshops as well. But these books are on Amazon. They are absolutely wonderful resources, and people have been purchasing them and promoting them. And as a matter of fact, I'm a fellow at the Center for the Study of Law and Religion at Emory University School of Law. They are doing a big promo
Wow.
for both volumes. So I will encourage people. So again, I have talked about volume 1. Let me just talk a bit about volume 2. In volume 2, we look at the content, we look at colonialism and the United Kingdom, we look at the 13th Amendment, we look at the Black Codes. What people don't know is that the Black Codes are synonymous to some of the penal policies associated with the modern era. Okay, so what was fundamental to the Black Codes were the fact that Black people had to be legally marginalized. Okay, and then you have Jeffersonian lynching. It talks about lynching. It talks about the new slave masters. So after the end of the Civil War, after into Reconstruction, you have the emergence of Jim Crow and the Black Codes. But then after that, you have lynching as well. And then with the end of lynching, you have what are called the new slave masters. The new slave masters were no longer slave patrol officers. They became the legal system. Okay, they became law enforcement. They became the courts that were basically a certain legality to put Black people behind bars. And it goes into what I call white supremacy and the Ku Klux Klan and the emergence of what I call the cult of white supremacy. The cult of white supremacy. Because fundamentally, the cult of white supremacy, what we are dealing with today, is not necessarily about just racism. It's more than racism. It's the ideological continuation of a racial marginalization of people that are Black inherently, which we see today with respect to the dismissal and the binding of Black history, the dismissal of Black intellectual capacity, and all of that. So, but also the book, while it looks at the Black codes, it looks at some of the genocide that did take place in Africa as well. So when we often talk about the slave trade, we don't talk about the Germans. But just to let you know that the Germans were highly involved in the massacre of Africans as well. So you have the German genocide in Africa, in Namibia. Okay, it says yeah, Black humanity is shown in the 1904 to 1908 when German brutally massacred the people of Namibia in southern Africa. You see, and literally took their skulls to Berlin as scientific evidence to prove that Black people were intellectually inferior. And then you have what are called the Black Codes, the continuation of the Black Codes. Now,
Right. And in New Orleans, we call that Le Code Noir.
Yes. So you have the French, the first French codes, okay? A Code Noir, yeah, the French codes. And then after the French, you also have what are called the Louisiana codes, Code Noir, the Louisiana Code Noir. So you have the French and you have the Louisiana ones, and then you have what is called the Jeffersonian and the criminal codes of Virginia. As a matter of fact, Jefferson, the third president of the United States, was the one that wrote the criminal laws of Virginia. It was so harsh that even some white folks said, no, this is too harsh for Black people. So Jefferson, he had a very avoir hatred, obvious hatred for Black people. He didn't hide. And then you have the Black codes after 1865, and you have the Florida Black codes. So you have the Louisiana Black Code, you have the Virginia Black Code, you have the Florida Black codes as well. And then you have implicit Black codes with various states.
Now, this is a lot of research. This is a lot of research. How long did it take you to actually bring all of this research together to put into this book, or actually both books?
So it has taken me about 10 years or so, but I've
Wow.
been working on it for over a period of time because part of the goal was to bring the past into the present. You see, because people would always think, oh, it's the slave trade, it has passed. No, there is a continuation of the ideological practices and the practical theories of it as well being evident in our modern period, in
Right.
what is called the postmodern era or the 21st century.
Yeah,
You
because in
see?
order for the slave trade to have even worked, it you had to have a certain belief system. You had to be able to change a way of, you had to have people think a certain way about a group of people. You had to basically dehumanize an entire group of people in order for this to even work. Because they
Exactly. And
you can't think of them as actual people in order for them to be thought of as property. You can't think of an actual person, an actual human, as property and think that this was actually going to work.
so you see, look, this is the conundrum in the West, okay? The psychic of the West, the Western consciousness with respect to race and white supremacy. Is this contradiction, okay? And this conundrum, this problem that is associated with the Western mindset. Would the Western mindset perceive Black people as humans, okay? Will they fully or have they fully accepted or considered or acknowledged Black people as humans? Because
Mhm,
recognizing Black people as humans also implies equality,
mhm,
okay? Also implies equality and freedom and tolerance with respect to privilege. Because you must know that whiteness is economic, political, social privilege. So for that privilege to survive and to be sustained and to continue, there must be some people who must be deprivileged. You see, and those people that are deprivileged are largely Black Africans. And I am very emphatic about Black Africans, that is, Black people. Okay? Because in Africa, and people who call themselves Africans but are white are also registering themselves in the West as white. So they do not receive the same treatment that dark skinned people are subjected to. You understand? So it's important to understand that. Okay, but with respect to race, with respect to white supremacy, with respect to the cult of white supremacy that influences and continues its practices, its ideological practices, economically, politically, it's very evident that there is a need for people to be deprivileged, to be discriminated against, and to be dismissed as inferior. And so the Western consciousness has this conundrum to the extent to which, okay, sometimes we accept Black people, but can we accept them fully? Because if we accept them fully, then they must be equal with us, and we must share privileges.
right, right. Now you're going to be in New Orleans with us, talking about both of these books, and you're going to have both of these books available.
Indeed, yes, I will be there by God's grace, and I will have these books and all of my books because these two volumes are my sixth book, the make of my sixth book. So I've got other books as well that I will be bringing forward to that particular conference. Yes.
Oh, wow. And are all of your books academic in nature, like these books?
Well, they're academic, they're poetic, because I have one called Nuggets from the Night. Nuggets from the Night is a book, it's an anthology of poetic expressions. It looks at poetry from different perspectives: social poetry, natural poetry, meditative poetry, theological poetry, but it's poetic expressions about human existential experiences, realities, how we perceive the world. And then I have another book, Prison Chaplains on the Beat, that looks at the works of prison chaplains, which is absolutely important in light of mass incarceration. And then I have a Locked Up and Locked Down, Multitude Lingers in Limbo, the multitude of Black people who are in jail in the US and the UK criminal justice system as well. And then I have another one called God in the Name of Jesus Christ that looks at the uniqueness of the Christian claim that Jesus Christ is God and Jesus Christ is associated with the Father, as a unique claim that Christianity makes in relation to other religions as well.
Wow. So you are really going to be dropping knowledge in New Orleans, and I cannot wait to see it. I want to thank you for being a part of the 10th annual Black History Month Literary Weekend. It is going to be a time. So for those of you who have been under a rock and you have not heard about the Black History Month Literary Weekend, it is going to be February 19th through the 21st. On the 19th, we'll have a meet and greet where you'll get to meet all of the authors. And then on the 20th, we will have a writer's workshop at, oh, there we go, a writer's workshop at the Algiers Regional Library. Special guest will be Brian W. Smith, who will be teaching a workshop, as well as I will be teaching a workshop. And then special announcement, we'll have special guest Sky Jackson. And we will also be partnering with One Book New Orleans, who will be giving away free copies of Sky Jackson's book. And then we'll be doing breakout sessions with all of our featured authors, including Dr. George. So you will be leaving with all kinds of tools to be able to write, publish, and market your book. Then we will be going over to Barnes & Noble for another book signing. And then later that evening, we'll be having our Black History Month Night of Comedy over at Cafe Istanbul, featuring comedian Steve Brown. We'll also have Nicole Blue, Rod Minger, and it will be hosted by Christopher Columbus. They make up the Greek comedy tour. You do not want to miss this. It is going to be absolutely hilarious. And all of this is happening February 20th. And then on February 21st will be none other than the Ivory and Cream Affair Literary Jazz Brunch. We will have live music. We'll have, of course, a delicious buffet. Our guest speaker will be Councilman Eugene Green, as well as Lisa Aubrey, who is a gifted researcher. We will have all of our featured authors who you will meeting this month as well as next month. It will be at the world famous Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. If you ever want to know anything about the Zulus, there's an amazing Netflix special on that'll tell you all about the Zulus. They're a very, very interesting, majority, predominantly Black Mardi Gras crew in New Orleans. You can learn all about them if you watch this Netflix special. We'll have a silent auction. We'll be awarding our 8th and 9th grade essay contest winners. We'll have door prizes. There will be a cash bar. All kinds of things going on. So you definitely want to be at this Ivory and Cream Affair Literary Jazz Brunch. So you definitely need to be at this event. So tickets are available on Eventbrite. So make sure you get your ticket. We want to see you there, but we want you to meet Dr. George. So Dr. George, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Show us your books one more time. That is The Rush of Black Diamonds, volumes 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I want to encourage you again. Black History Month is just a couple of weeks away, but get these books. And if you need speakers, any speaker for Black History Month, just contact me. Go to my website, georgewaltersleyon.com, and we'll be in touch. Or you can reach out to Dr. Rhonda, and she will get in touch and make it happen.
Yes, I will. All right. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening, Dr. George.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mhm.
All right, that was Dr. George Walters-Sleyon. We're just going to move right on to our next guest, Mr. Marc A. Beausejour. Hello, Marc.
Hey, Rhonda, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for joining me once again. You are no stranger to the Horizons Author Lounge.
At all, at all. If I'm not featured, normally I'm in the comment section. Normally I'm supporting. So
You
I want
are,
to
and I appreciate that.
thank you so much. I commend what you do for all of us as authors, giving us a platform to showcase our work and to talk about our books. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. And congratulations once again for being our third place winner of our first For the Culture Book Award.
The unforgettable moment. And I heard people say that, hey, Marc, this is just the first of many. You're going to get more awards. But you know what they say, you never forget your first. And that was the first book award I've won, is placing in the For the Culture Book Awards. And I'm so appreciative of that. Thank you for all the judges who helped, judge all the books. And thank you to those who've read it. And I feel like Fires of Justice took a really big leap in the literary world following that win. So it's a very good platform and a very good place to take the award. So thank you.
And thank you. I'm really happy for you. It got a lot of good feedback. And it just goes to it really shows your growth and your trajectory as an author, because I've watched you. I mean, I've watched you from just when you were commenting in Black Authors Matter TV, as you were watching that, and then just being able to watch you as you were writing, and just the you put into your work. I could tell that there are some authors, we see them just as somebody who just does this as a side hustle. They just think they can tell a good story. Actually put a lot of thought and a lot of creativity and a lot of work behind your writing, and I really love that. And you're always wanting to make the next book better than the last book, and
Absolutely.
so I commend you for that.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's a lot of work, so
it is a lot of work. It really is. And this I think this Black History Month event will be your fourth.
My fourth. Correct, including the virtual one that we did. The virtual one was my first one back in 2020, I believe. 21. That was my first 21. Yes, 21. Yes. So all the years run together. Time's going by so fast. But yeah, 2021 was my first one, and then of course I went to the one in 2023, and then I didn't go to 2024. Then I went to, of course, the one last year. So this will be my fourth. Yeah.
Wow. So thank you for coming back. So we're going to have a good time in New Orleans. I'm glad that you're participating this year.
I can't wait. I love New Orleans. I always say it's like a second residence for me, because I was going to New Orleans to participate in the Black Writers Workspace that's presided by Michelle.
You did the Black Ink.
Black Ink. I'm sorry. The Black Ink Book Festival. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it's called.
Right. I participated 2 years in a row there. So I've been in New Orleans before, and I love the city. I love the vibes. I love how live it is, and then the food. That's
you
can't beat the food over there. No, not at all. Not at all. So I can't wait to go back and hopefully be able to introduce more of the audience there to the Black Cyrano series novels, so I'm excited about that.
Well, now, what is your latest book right now?
So my most recent book is the last book in the Black Cyrano series, which is Divine Vengeance. So basically, in a nutshell, so my whole series, the Black Cyrano series, started out with my first book, which was The Preacher's Web, which I saw that it was one of your books that you wanted to read throughout the year. I saw the graphic for all the books that you, I was blessed to see my book among that. But it's a story about a pastor who was called upon to testify against a young man who was wrongly accused of murder in an inner city in Queens, New York. And he knows that the young man is innocent. So basically, he puts his reputation as a spiritual leader on the line, even though he's dealing with a lot of drama that's going on in his church, from his daughter dealing with a young, basically a young basketball player who found out he was just adopted, to an old friend coming back seeking vengeance for a girl that him and the pastor once had ties to back in the day. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the Preacher's Web. So from the Preacher's Web, it sort of developed into the other books that presided in the Black Cyrano series, A Diaz Ballad, my award-winning book, Fires of Justice, and then, of course, Split Decision 1 and 2, and then Street Retribution. Mm-hmm. And Divine Vengeance finally ends the whole series. So this is the most latest book right now. And it's actually about one of the gang members who actually becomes a lawyer, and then he helped place the gang leader that he used to serve under behind bars. But years later, the gang leader escapes from prison and now has kidnapped one of his family members. So now the lawyer is put on the offensive, and he's basically taking no stops of trying to get his family member out of hostage, basically. And then basically it's also a redemption story about one of the younger gang members who was initiated. His name is Chris Anderson, who happens to be the son of David Anderson. And he's struggling to live a normal life, basically, getting a job, staying out the streets. So that's what Divine Vengeance is about. And so I've been trying to get this book off the ground, and basically been trying to sell it. But I think all the books in the Black Cyrano series are must reads. Honestly, I've gotten positive, great reviews, especially on Fires of Justice, like you said, which won the third place in the For the Culture Book Awards. But the whole series is an award-winning series. Just this past September, I took home 2 times the She Publishing Triple Threat Award. So
I saw that. That was
Black
awesome.
Yeah. So now I could say that I have an award-winning series now. So I've been focusing last year on basically selling the series, and I'm not done yet. So I'm currently working on another book right now. I'm writing my next book, which I'm already over halfway, and I'm hoping to get the book released by this fall.
So you just have not let any grass grow under your feet.
No, I've been staying pretty busy. Last year was more so sort of like a marketing and award-winning, award-getting year. So it was basically a busy year. So I kind of took a little time off the book, which I normally don't do. I normally try to get a book out a year. That's been my normal mantra, is to get a book out a year, because between the publishing and the editing and the printing process, it does take a while. So I've been trying to balance a regular day job and then balance my responsibilities at church as a sound technician, and then also all my responsibilities at home with writing. And I've been doing a pretty good job of it. I've been my goal is to try to get a chapter a week done. And I picked it back up, especially since getting a new laptop. You peep the nice screen now, no more fuzz. Everything is all clear now. So,
well, you beat me. I still need a new laptop.
Well, I got shout out to my family for that, definitely. So they helped me out with that. And because of that, I'm able to continue writing. I actually got finished off another chapter of my new book that I'm working on this morning. So I got finished with another chapter. So I'm moving right along. So I'm very happy.
So what is your advice to people? Because there are some people out there who will say, I just don't have time to write. I can't find the time to do it. I have a job. I have responsibilities. I have this. I have that. I don't have time to write. But you have a day job. You are writing. You have books that you're still trying to promote. You're doing a lot of things, but you're still finding time to still crank out the book. So what is your advice to somebody who's still trying to make things happen, but they just can't find the time to do it?
So my main advice is to try to limit distraction as much as possible. So normally what I do on the days that I write, I see Shanita saying we don't understand how Mark is writing all these books. Sometimes I don't understand myself, but so normally what helps me is basically I wake up like at 5 a.m. or sometimes 4 a.m. And the reason why I do this is because everybody is still asleep.
Yes.
So everybody's still asleep. So I normally put that hustle on myself when I wake up in the morning and say, okay, nobody's awake. So this is extra time for me to go ahead and grind, go ahead and see if I can get another chapter in. And I've become so far advanced in my writing. In the past, I used to have to, like summarize my books or kind of write little like what I want the next chapter to be. So I sort of have had to do that. But now I could already kind of forecast what the next chapter is going to be up here. So I don't have to write anything or pre-write it. I could just go to my laptop and just pen the next chapter just like that, because the characters are speaking to me. The event is unfolding. So the book is unfolding for me. So my advice to an upcoming writer is to limit distraction. So when I write, I don't have my cell phone around me. I don't have TV around me. I don't stream. I limit myself. I limit myself to the outside so that it could be just me and my thoughts. And when it's just me and my thoughts, I can get a whole lot done, basically. So now, everybody has different ways they can do it. Not everybody can keep that same discipline. Sometimes people have different vices or need different things to help them write. But for me, my method's been pretty consistent, and then it's helped because that's how I've been able to crank out these books, because I've been able to sort of limit distraction. Now, if I want to take a rest from writing a chapter, sometimes when I'm a few pages in, I rest for a little bit and I go right back to it, because if to kind of get into distraction will kind of sway you from writing. So that's sort of like what I've been working at. So really it's limit distraction, and then also find out who you're writing for, like what your target audience is. Find out your reason of why you're writing. So when you determine those things, it'll make it much easier, and it'll give you a defined purpose of what you're writing about.
See, that's a big one, knowing who you're writing for, because everybody's book is not going to be for everybody. And I know a lot of times people like to say my book is for everybody, and everybody's book is not going to be for everybody. You have an audience, and when you know who you're writing for, it's so much easier to write for that specific audience.
Yep.
Because when you're writing to that person, it just makes it so much easier. And
exactly.
And then another thing that you said that I think really hit home is what was it you said? So, oh, look, our people are jumping into the chat. Reborn, the book series, reality. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, I see Tori there, Michelle there. Shout out to my people. Shout out to all y'all.
Come on, hey.
Yeah.
But no, something else that you said that really hit home. I'm trying to remember something else that you said. When you were talking about reducing distractions.
Yes.
Sometimes we do have to kind of get away for a while.
Yeah.
Like we can't answer the phone every time it rings, or we can't check our phone every time the notifications go off.
Exactly. And that's the hardest thing, because when I type, sometimes I hear my phone, I don't have no ringtone, but I hear the buzz, like I hear the vibration, like bzz, bzz. Sometimes I'm tempted, like, man, who is it? But then I'm like, nah, I gotta finish this. So the hardest thing is ignoring that. But no, when you are focused, and then you're trying to get done what you need to get done, you set an agenda for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna finish this chapter by this date, and I'm determined to keep going until I finish. Only when I'm finished, then I'm gonna continue with my day. And when you wake up in the morning, believe me, it works, because when I get a chapter done, I'm done with that, and then now I don't have to worry about being encumbered for the rest of the day. I have the rest of the day to do other things. So I have the whole day ahead of me. So it's a system that works for me. Now everybody is different, Now, here's the thing. When I get close to the finish line, when I know I'm about to finish, sometimes I might take a work day to finish the chapter just so I don't let it linger, because that's just me. When I know that I'm close to the finish line, I'm going to run right through it. I'm not going to take my time to get there, So that's what I did in my last couple of books. So, but it's worked. It's a system that's worked. And that's my advice to all my new authors out there.
Well, I hope you share this advice at the writers' workshop that we have on February 20th, because this is some great advice a lot of those attendees are going to need for themselves this is stuff they need to walk away with. And we have actually had people who have attended this writers workshop and went on to become authors themselves later on. I've had people on the show who said that they started writing after they attended a writers workshop that I hosted with the Black History Month Literary Weekend. I was shocked. I didn't know until they told me when they were on the show. I was like, cool.
Right,
All right.
right.
Michelle wants to know how many more books you plan on writing.
Man, that's tough because I haven't really thought about it. So I'm working on one right now. I'm more than halfway done with this book right here. So my projected time to actually finish writing it is going to be around March or April. And the reason why is because after the Black History Month Literary Weekend, I have another event the next Saturday at my local bookstore, which is called the Crazy Book Lady Bookstore in Ackworth, Georgia. So I'm going to be part of her cast of Black authors. She's also doing a Black History Month event at her bookstore as well. So I'm also going to take part in that. So the Black Cyrano series will be in Ackworth. And then in April, God willing, I'm going to be at Conyers, Georgia for the Conyers Book Festival. So I got some things coming up. So like I said, I'm trying to balance finishing the book and then still doing those events and then also publish. So I'm thinking March, April, I'm going to finish writing and then I'm going to have it edited so that we can start the publishing process. So,
congratulations, Mark. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you. But to answer Michelle, a book a year. So it's still going to be a book a year. I don't know where that'll end up. I guess until I run out of ideas, because I still think there's so many more stories to write. There's so many more people to inspire. And then I still have a goal that I still want to do, which is to write children's books. So hopefully God will lead me to a place where I can write kids' books.
All right. Now, Michelle, I can't be asking all these questions. I got to get Dr. AudreyAnn on.
Yeah, definitely.
And, Dr. AudreyAnn, I hope you're there with your camera off because it's your turn. Mark, once again, thank you. Thank you for continuing to support Meet the World Image Solutions and the Black History Month Literary Weekend. I am proud of all you've accomplished.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But can I answer Michelle's question right quick?
Make it snappy.
She wanted to know what my biggest accomplishment. This was up to date.
Oh.
This was winning the True Play Award. She already knows.
All right. So
shout out to she.
As we transition into the next author, as we transition into the next author, I think it's only right that I know last week we announced the winners, or not the winners, but the top 5 of the For the Culture Book Awards, the second edition. I'm gonna show you guys once again who the winners are. We have shout out to
Shamara and Royce. They're 2 of the 5 finalists in the this year. Yes. So shout out to them.
Yes. So as we transition from Mark to Dr. AudreyAnn, I'm going to go ahead and show the video of the top 5 of this year's For the Culture Book Awards. They will be announced. The winners will be announced on February 1st, and they will be awarded at the Ivory and Cream Affair Literary Jazz Brunch on February 21st during the Black History Month Literary Weekend. So thank you, Mark. Once again, I will see you in New Orleans next month.
See you. Can't wait.
All right. So congratulations once again to the top 5. I'm telling you, that was so super close. Only 2 votes separated number 5 and number 6. That's why it was so important to vote every single day. How you doing, Dr. AudreyAnn?
Hey, How are you? It's been a minute since I've seen you.
I know. It seems like it's been forever.
I know. I am so excited about New Orleans.
Me
I'm really excited.
too.
Because it's been a minute since I've been there. So I'm excited about going there, and I'm excited about the weekend. It's going to be fun. I was
Oh yeah.
listening to Mark, and I was responding on what is, I guess, my Facebook Live. So I guess he'll see him eventually. You know,
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed both of the Mark and I've never met Dr. George, so I'm excited to meet him.
Oh yeah. He's so smart. You know, he's like.
Hey, uh,
Can you tell he's a college professor?
yeah, I think so. But I mean, I was, but I never met him. He is way smarter than me. So how you
Oh my
doing?
goodness. Yeah, well, yeah, I actually met Dr. George on Black Authors Matter TV. Actually, I met both you and Mark on Black Authors Matter TV.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wait,
That was. It seems like ages ago.
I know, right? Wait, what she say? She pronounced every alphabet.
I love her too. But
Michelle is crazy.
I am. I'm just really excited. Hmm.
Well, I don't know if you saw my books for 2025, but your book was included in there too.
For
All the
what?
books, all the books that I read for 2025, your book was included in there too.
It should have been. Yes. You
Ah,
read all three of you read all three of these,
yes.
you know, especially this one. I
Oh yeah, I
can't hear
definitely
you.
read that one.
Yeah.
I said I
Hmm.
definitely read that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, I really love the last one though. Wait, you got to hold that one up because Jacqueline did that cover.
Yes. She did both of these.
Oh, okay, I didn't
Ja-
realize she did that one.
yeah. She did
Jane's
both
journey.
of these. She did both of these, and a young friend of mine that I knew her when she was born, literally.
Oh
She
wow.
did this cover for me. And she did my state of affairs covers. Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, Jacqueline did both of these. Awesome
yeah.
job. Awesome
She did.
job.
Yeah,
Mm,
she did a beautiful job. Jacqueline has been doing her thing. She's been busy.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
She
she's still
has.
busy. She has a whole new book
Yeah.
coming out
Yeah.
and a
She has books, and
magazine.
then the album, and then yeah. She too busy for me.
And me, I thought I was busy. She busier than me. I'm like,
Yeah.
how's anybody busier than me?
She's big. Hmm. But she gets it done though.
She
She
does.
gets
She
it done.
does.
So that's what's important. Mm.
Hmm. Now, what have you been having going on, ma'am?
Well, I literally took a break because I wrote this book last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I originally wrote it for our Renaissance.
Yeah, for a
Um,
new renaissance. Let me see.
yeah,
I had. Oh, here it is.
yeah. I
Yes.
originally wrote it for that,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
I just upgraded it a lot, and then put it out as an individual book in 24. And then in 25, I wrote both of these, you know,
Okay.
book two, no, book two and book three, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I did an anthology with Jacqueline, Dr. Jacqueline, and I did an anthology with another young lady, Regina Robinson. So I decided to take a break. So I haven't started back writing yet.
That was writing. That was writing you did last year.
Huh?
That was writing that you did last year.
I know, but I'm saying for 26. I
And
took
26 just started a couple weeks ago. You've
I know, but but I decided to take a break because my head was hurting, you know. But I mean, I've written 9 books,
we
and
authors are too hard on ourselves. I mean,
yeah,
2026 just started like what's today? 12 days
you
ago. And we
12.
already talking about we haven't started writing yet.
Well, I'm proud of Mark. So, but yeah, I have some things in my mind, but I just decided I would take myself a little break and work on some other things, because I like to craft. So for
Yes.
the holidays, I did some crafting, and I'm working on some workshops and things for my counseling, and for the coaching. So I've been keeping busy.
Yeah. I actually want to write another book because I hadn't written a book in a while since I wrote my
I
book.
was going to say you just wrote a book.
I wrote this. I wrote the story for this book, but then I hadn't written a full book in a while until I wrote the holiday novella.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Surprise Swipe Right.
Yeah, and that was a good book. So
Thank you.
you need to get that, hold it up again so they can see it. Yes, that was a good book. I really enjoyed reading that book. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
you all need
Yeah,
to get it.
I enjoyed writing the book. When you actually have fun writing the book,
Yeah,
that's when you're having a good time. Now, I want to write another
yeah,
book, but I don't know what I want to write about just yet. So I
yeah,
haven't rushed into the process yet, but I figured I would
yeah,
take time to think about it. I'm going to let Black History Month pass, and then after Black History Month, I'll figure out what I want to write. And
yeah.
then
That's what I'm
probably
thinking
in
about
March,
too.
yeah, in March, I'll
Hmm.
go ahead and start writing something else because I think I want to write something else. And I
Yeah,
figure March is a good time
hmm,
to start something.
yeah.
And
I
I'll
think
figure out what
that's
I want to write.
yeah. But I was listening to Mark, and he was talking about his schedule, and he's quite disciplined, much more than me. But I really did agree with a lot of what he said, because as authors, we do have, like you said, we have a tendency to beat ourselves up,
Yes.
and we have a tendency to stress ourselves out,
Yes.
and so I'm learning not to do either one of those things. I'm learning not to do that. I've written 9 of my own books, 9 fiction books.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I do them in sets, like, this is Jane Burton's story,
Mm-hmm.
and Jane was she started out as just a little girl not being loved by anybody.
And
And
I'm telling you, you got so many compliments on that story. I think so many people were touched by Jane's story.
yeah, I loved writing her. And then even in here, where she started learning how to love herself, and so by me being a psychologist, all my books are fiction, but at the same time, I'm wanting people to understand that we have to learn how to love ourselves
Yeah.
before we can expect other people to love us.
Yes, absolutely.
And when we learn how to love ourselves, then we learn that it's not important if other people love us or not. It's not, yes, we want friends, yes, we want people, that's the human thing, but we don't need them to live. We just only need Jesus to live, you
Amen.
know and so I wanted Jane, and Jane wrote her book. I'm good at that. I'm good at letting the characters write their own stories. And
Mm-hmm.
so Jane learned how to love herself so that she could teach her children how to love themselves. And then when she learned that, then Silver Moon, you know, And
love when she picked up the phone and said, "I love you."
mm. Yes. So
And she was like, "Why did I
I'm huh?
do?" When she picked up the phone and said, "I love you," and then she was like, "Why did I do that?"
Yeah, what did I do? It's like if it had been a movie, if it had been a movie, she would have said, she would have said that, picked up the phone, I love you, hang up the phone, and then hit herself in the head. She was like, "Have you lost your mind?" What is so you know,
That was so cute.
I know everybody's out there is like, who is this crazy woman Dr. Rhonda picked up? But I tell you, I love writing my books. I love reading my books. I love my characters. And that's why I think that my books do what they do. Now, am I a New York bestseller? Not yet. Maybe tomorrow. But yeah, maybe tomorrow. But it makes my heart feel so wonderful that people love reading my books.
Yes. Yes.
Because before I met you, I wasn't even considering writing a book until I wrote that book, Saved by Grace. That's how I met you. And the only reason I wrote that book is because one of my good friends challenged me to write it.
Mm.
And so, but I'm glad she did. And every time I see her, I hug her because I'm glad she did. Because yeah, somebody said they're going to be a New York bestseller too.
We're all going to be
So
New York bestsellers. What we need to do is this whole little mastermind, and we are going to support each other into New York Times bestseller
yes,
status.
yes,
We can
that's
do
what
this
we have to
together.
do.
We can
That's
do
what,
this
just
together
support
and help
each
each
other.
other. Yes.
Just support each other right up there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be saying, how did we miss all of this?
I'm telling you, that's the way it happens. A lot of these authors, they support each other. When somebody has a new release, everybody gets behind and supports that new release.
Exactly.
And whenever something wonderful happens, they all get behind and they support that wonderful thing. We need to do that for each other. So
Yeah.
we can do this for each other.
Yeah.
We don't have to compete. There are enough readers out there for us all not to compete with each other. We can support each other and help each other and share with each other. So
Right.
I really
And we
believe we can
don't
do
write,
this.
we don't write the same types,
Right.
like
None of us
your
write the
writing,
same.
your type of writing is different than mine. Our type of writing is different than Mark's or different than Dr. George. And, so there is no way we can fall on top of each other, but we
Right.
can definitely support. And that's what I like doing. I like supporting, you know, and when we were in, because I think I missed, since I started doing the Black History weekend, I missed last year. I think, was it last year I missed or year before?
Yeah,
One
you
year I
didn't. I
missed.
don't believe you came last year.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't think you came
because
last year. You came the year
I
before.
missed seeing Mark because Mark was there. Mark was not there the year before, and then I wasn't there last year.
Right.
And so, yeah, but I'm glad I'm going to get to see everybody this year. I'm really
Yes.
excited.
So
But
I
anyway,
think
what I was
is
saying
this
was
your
that
second or third? No, this is your second or your third.
third or fourth.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, I wasn't remember you did the one online,
Okay. You're in the virtual one.
right? And
Okay.
then after that, except for 1 year I couldn't come. Last year
Okay.
I couldn't come. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is fourth
So
then.
yeah. So I'm excited about it, you know. But you know what? You know what I was thinking about when I knew you was gonna bless me to be on here today for these few minutes. I wanted to encourage people. You know, you have no idea how many times people have come up to me in the last since I've been writing, and they have come up to me and said, you know, I have a book I want to write. And then they don't. And I understand that because I was there. I understand that, you know, but I just really want to encourage people to start writing some words on a paper. It's really not that hard. You know, just put some words on a paper, the next day put some words on a paper, the next day. I handwrite still. I handwrite, and then I type it in the computer. So part of my book is in a little you know what I like. You remember these?
Yes.
I have one, and like I buy the little decorated ones with girlies on them and flowers and stuff. But this is what I use. And I write the name of the book that it's for, and this is only for one book. I don't use it for two or three books. Each story has its own little book. And I write all my notes in. Like if I'm busy doing something and I get a thought, I write that thought in this book so that when I have time to really sit down with my story, I can go back and look at all my, because me and sticky notes don't work, you know. So I have my little composition notebook, and I make my little notes in there, and then I just go about doing what I got to do, you know, because yeah, I love them. So and that works for me. Everybody has their own way, but that works for me because
Hmm.
sometimes in the middle of if I think about something in the middle of the night and I don't write it down, I won't remember it again ever, you know. So sometimes I might wake up with a thought and I write it down in my book, or if I'm, like I said, if I'm working on something else, I don't want to stop what I'm doing to go into my computer to find the book and then put, you know, and when I wrote Story of Wade, I did not write Story of Wade in order. Whatever I was thinking about him, I wrote that chapter. I wrote it out in
Right, right.
handwriting, and then I typed it in and I wrote that chapter. And I labeled all the chapters, and then I had to put them in the order that they go in.
Sometimes that helps with writer's block too. You write it as you think
Mhm.
about it, and then you just put it
Yeah.
together later.
And yeah, right, put it together later. So I didn't stress myself out with staying in, you know, order
Hmm.
of which way to go with him, because you know he you know Wade was a doozy. So so I just wrote him, and then I it's like I had a puzzle that I had to put together, and I put that puzzle together, and then I ended up with Story of Wade, and I was laughing when I heard Mark say that was his first award, because Story of Wade was my first award.
You know, I
And
didn't tell people I got an award for trust. I got an award. Yeah, I got an award for trust. I just couldn't find the thing online, so I didn't post it because I couldn't find the thing. But I got an email that I got an award for it. So
mhm.
I'll eventually tell people as soon as I can find some social proof for it.
But yeah, I am so appreciative of everybody that reads my books. I really am, because it just makes my heart feel so good that people want to read my little words, you know. It just makes my heart feel really
And
good.
it does make you feel a way when people say that your words touch them in a certain way, or
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
even with Mark talking about trust still left him emotionally scarred.
Well, I can understand why he would say that, you know, because trust was, you know, ooh, you
It
have
was
to
a
be
little bit of a
ready for that
doozy.
book. That was the first book I wrote of yours. I mean, I read of yours. And I was like, I'm so glad I already know her and love her because this book took me somewhere. You know? So, but yes, I'm like, I am so glad there are people in the world that like to write these kind of books.
Well, you know,
But
that
yeah,
book came from some pain.
yes.
That was after a boyfriend broke my heart. I said, "Well, I'm never gonna kill him, but I'm gonna kill him in this book."
But see, you could look at the cover and tell that because on the cover, what you see is you know, a mad black woman with a gun in her hand. That's what you see. And I'm like, okay, what happened to make her write this book? You know?
Yeah, but you know, it didn't happen the way it happened in the book. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna kill him in this
Yeah,
book.
yeah, yeah. I understand. I understand. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading that book. And like I said, I enjoyed reading your Christmas book too.
Yeah.
I she was I kept saying just pick one. Which one you gonna pick? Come on now. You know, but I really enjoyed following her journey. I really enjoyed it, and you know, I'm not going to tell the story because y'all need to really buy that book. It might be after Christmas,
Oh,
but you can read that book anytime. It's a good
yeah.
book.
Yeah. This was my first time writing a holiday book. I'm like, do you still promote holiday books when it's the holidays?
I'm gonna tell
I
you,
don't know.
I will promote my book. I don't care if it's Easter, 4th of July. I don't. It don't matter. Just promote the book. You get
Okay.
with all the rest of your books.
Okay. Well, I'll still promote it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Might as well.
Yeah,
Well, girl, we
might
got to
as
get off
well.
of here. It's after 8 o'clock.
I know, I know. You know, we get on here and we get to gabbing, but
Well,
I'm
what
just
books
really
do you?
glad. Huh?
No, I was just saying, what books are you bringing to New Orleans?
I'm gonna bring one or two of all of them, but I'm definitely gonna bring the last three. You know, my
Okay,
Jane Burton books. I'm
okay.
definitely bringing these. You know, I know that I'm gonna start back on my Saved by Grace series. So I'm gonna bring Saved by Grace and Story of Wade because that's when I do start writing again, that's I'm gonna start on those series. Because you know, in Story of Wade, Wade had a daughter he never knew about.
Mm.
And so I think I want to start another book, you know, having something to do with that, I think. I don't know. But I know it's going to be in that series.
Yeah, and I think we also have to remind people that you don't live in New Orleans. I know I had to keep reminding
I don't live
myself.
far, just 12 hours.
Yeah, your stories have a New Orleans adjacent.
Well, I'm coming to New Orleans.
There we
I'll be
go.
there in February, you know. And I'm always finding a reason to go someplace. So I can come to New Orleans anytime.
There we go. There we go. And
Hmm.
uh, and and Dr. AudreyAnn has a love for New Orleans.
I do. I do. I spent almost 2 years of my naval career in New Orleans, and I loved every minute of it.
That's right.
I
And how
sure
long were you
did.
in the Navy? 20,
22 and a half years.
22 and a half years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Beautiful.
22 and a half years.
Yeah,
And
so
I was
y'all are
looking
talking to
at
two veterans.
this year I would have been retired third wait a minute. I retired in 1996.
Oh wow.
So I retired in 1996, so that's 2006, 2016. Yeah, 30 years. October of this year I would have been retired 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I retired in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think about it, and I was like, my friends on on my ship, we talk, and we are all talking about how we were all together on the ship, you know, 30 years ago when we were in New Orleans. And it's
Wow.
like, my goodness, you know, you don't even think about how fast the time has gone by,
It does go
you
by
know.
fast.
But I'm just glad God has preserved me to see this day, you know, that I'm just glad about that, you know. So, you know what? I know I'm holding you up. But anyway, thank you so much for having me on here, and I love you. And
And
I
I
am
love you
looking
too.
forward to coming to New Orleans.
And I'm looking forward to having you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for being a part of the Black History Month Literary Weekend. And thank you for just always supporting. I appreciate you and I love you so much.
Mm. All
All
right.
right.
See you soon.
All right. You have a wonderful night. Bye.
All right. You too. Good night.
Good night. All right, y'all. There you have it. 3 more authors who will be at the Black History Month Literary Weekend. In case you missed it, I will run those flyers one more time. Remember, it's February 19th through the 21st. On the 19th, we will have a meet and greet. On the 20th, we will have a writer's workshop at the Algiers Regional Library. This is a free workshop. There will be a VIP option available. So if you go on Eventbrite, you'll see more information about what's included in the VIP option. But there will be a workshop presented by Brian W. Smith, as well as myself, and author Sky Jackson will also be there as our special guest. And One Book New Orleans will be there giving out some free books. And we will have breakout sessions featuring all of our featured authors. So they'll be there for you to ask questions. And if you'd like to get books from them, they will have books on hand as well. So that will be happening on February 20th. And then we'll be going to Barnes and Noble, where we'll be doing a book signing just down the street at the Barnes and Noble on Manhattan Boulevard. And then that night we'll be at Cafe Istanbul for a night of comedy featuring Nicole Blue, Rod Meager, Christopher Columbus, and Steve Brown, the hilarious Steve Brown. So you don't want to miss this. It is going to be absolutely hilarious. Tickets are available now, and there's also a VIP option available for this show as well. So you don't want to miss that. And then on February 21st will be the world famous Ivory and Cream Affair Literary Jazz Brunch. We're talking live music. We're talking a full buffet. We're talking guest speakers. We're talking silent auction. We're talking bar. We're talking door prizes. We're talking awards. It's going to be at the Fabulous Social Aid and Pleasure Club. This is going to be a beautiful, beautiful event. We really want to see you there. And this money is for scholarship. We're going to be giving away some serious cash. So we want to see you guys there as well. This is a ticketed event and tickets are limited. So get your tickets as soon as possible. Go on Eventbrite. You can get the tickets, but we're also partnering with the Alpha Gamma Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and they will have paper tickets. If you want to avoid those Eventbrite fees, you can get with any member of Alpha Gamma Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and you can purchase a ticket from them if you would like to go to either the comedy show or the Ivory and Cream Affair Jazz Brunch. So you can contact them for information on that. Now, we do have an all access option. If you want to go to all of the events, if you want to go to the meet and greet, you want to go to the workshop, you want to go to the comedy show and the brunch, we do have an all access pass that will get you into all of the events. So if you go on event, you'll see information about that on there as well. So we have something for everybody, and we really want to see you there. So don't play around. Don't wait until the last minute. Go ahead and get your tickets. So that's all we have for tonight, guys. I love you. Once again, I thank you for your support. And like I said, I just really want to see you at this event because there's a lot going on. And yes, J16 on deck, baby. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say a blanket because I'm not going to be on for every Founders Day. I just want to say happy Founders Day to all the January babies. I'm just going to say that, but I'm not going to be on for January 16th. So happy Founders Day to the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. In case you're watching this on January 16th. I love you. Z5, love you. All right, that's all I have. I'll see you all next week for another episode of the Horizons Author Lounge, where you will meet more of our featured authors, because we do have more. And tomorrow night, I will see you on Black Authors Matter TV on the National Black Book Festival Facebook page. More to come, but lots of love every day, every single day. God bless you and good night. Bye-bye.